Hi everyone, my name's Kyle Lyon, pre-sales engineer here at Solutions PT, and in this episode of Tech Bytes, we're following on from our overview on the 4 different analytics packages available within AVEVA Insight, and zooming in on the first 2 sections of this slide here. We're going to be looking at the automated analytics function and the condition-based rules. So as we mentioned in our quick look at the 4 levels of analytics, automated analytics is unsupervised machine learning. Insight automatically scans through your data on a tag-by-tag basis once you start publishing data to it, and establishes a baseline model for each tag's behavior without any configuration on your end necessary. It will then post anomalies for these tags, such as flatlining, being higher or lower than usual, or deviations from historical patterns. This is designed to help operators and technicians understand if changes need to be made to bring these items back in line with expected normal operating values. So I'll pull up an example of an Insight solution here. I'm just on the home page. And what we're going to do is we're going to scroll through our news feed until we come to the first instance of an automated analytics alert. As we can see here, we've got a graph with our normal data range being highlighted in green and the anomalous region being highlighted in red. Now, with all automated analytics alerts, we have the option to interact with the actual algorithm that generates these and let it know if this type of alert is useful or not. Additionally, and this is with every type of alert, not just automatic alerts, we have the option to show a short textual description of what the alert is actually showing us. So as we can see here, it describes what kind of data range we're looking at, including the time, what is indicated by green and what's indicated by red, and the tag that we're looking at and where that data source is actually sourcing it from. Another example of this, just below, shows a trend with our values trending normally, and we actually hit a flat line around here. And again, we can expand this and have a look and see the short textual description of what the alert is actually showing us, what the tag is, and where the tag is coming from. So immediately we can use this to understand where we've got potential issues that we weren't initially aware of and go and take remedial actions. So that is automated analytics. Now we'll move on to our condition-based rules. So jumping into a piece of content as an example here, we're going to be using our predictive quality sugar density measurement chart, which is a combination of various different analog, Boolean, and string values here that we can see in one single chart. Now, let's say, imagine that we are looking at this chart and we spot an issue that we need to be alerted of in future. I can click the Add Alert button here and define whereabouts on the graph that condition is. Clicking the button will take us into the alert definition page. And as you can see here, our conditions tab has been filled with those tags that were in that chart. Now you can come in and create one of these from scratch, but this is generally a better and more visual way of doing so, and we can use it to go back and look at prior incidents and actually create alerts based on those. So we've got our conditions already generated here, and by default this is going to be when those tags are exactly equal to the point that we selected on the chart. Obviously, I can change these operators to be greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, give it a value range, things like that. And equally, I can go through and maybe add in some more tags that weren't in that chart, but are still important to this alert. So, by default, with all these conditions, this alert will trigger when every condition evaluates to true. But I can change this to be that if any of the conditions evaluates true, this is triggered as well. On the top, I can give the alert a name, describe which asset it's related to, so which piece of equipment, which line, which site maybe, and provide a short textual description of the alert as well. So scrolling through, I'm just going to untick the skip prescriptive actions step and move on to the prescriptive action step. In here, we can define things like failure modes or specific bits of insight that we know about equipment or machines or ways to fix those. And what these are is these allow us to send out this information with the alert. So when this alert is triggered and it's distributed to people's mobile apps, to their desktop views, to their emails, to texts, these prescriptive actions can be bundled in with them. And these are especially useful for things like maintenance staff going to address a failure on a line. We can send them prescriptive actions to give them some remedial steps to take in order to address this actual failure that we're seeing. By default, for alert actions, this alert will send a notification to my email address, me being the creator of this alert, but I can define other people to receive this as well, or groups. It will also send a notification to the mobile application if I have it installed on my mobile and I'm logged in, or to the desktop view as well. What we can do is extend this, and we can create links to other pieces of software. As you can see here, we've got an example of AVEVA EAM work requests. I can use this alert to automatically generate a work request in this instance. You can also hook this up to Azure Logic apps. So anything that you can make an Azure Logic app do, Insight and the alert that we're defining here can be used as a trigger for. I'll untick the skip consequences of failure step and move on to the consequences of failure. Here we can define whether this alert relates to safety, environmental, or production issues. And finally, at the end, we can see a summary of this. So by default, it will ask you if you want to send alerts to your email address, or if you just want it to be raised within the solution itself. So that's within the mobile application or the desktop app. I'm going to say no thanks for this, because we're not actually going to create this. But essentially, if I hit finish here, and these alert definitions triggered to true, I would receive an email when it happened. I would receive a mobile notification on my phone because I've got the AVEVA Insight app installed, and I'd receive a notification in the desktop view as well. And I'll show you exactly where that would be. As you might expect, it would be visible here. We'd have a little 1 next to this bell, indicating our active alerts. So that's been a quick look at the first 2 quadrants of analytics available within Insight. We plan to do separate videos for the next 2 items, which is guided analytics and advanced analytics in the future. But if any of this has interested you, you want to discuss how Insight might help you or your customers, please do feel free to get in touch with us through the links below. There's also a 45-day free trial of Insight that we can use as a proof of concept to demonstrate the features that we've gone over today and more. Thank you for watching.